Hello everyone, back to today's second video. So we're already on weekend broadcast. You can find the video chat here on the homepage. Just scroll down the page a little bit and it's above so There's also a written version. You can get that from the buttons at the top of the page. Going to be quite a cold week ahead. So we're going to have a risk of some snow across parts of the country in the coming week. And also you can expect the chance of quite a significant spell of either snow or rain, possibly gale force winds around the middle part of the week. I'll let you have a look at weekend forecast, see what you make of that. This second video is going to pick up on that, and we'll also have a look at the broader things. We're going to begin by having a look at the chance of this stratospheric warming over North Pole in the final week, 10 days of January. And we're also going to have a look at some of the midday runs as well. We haven't got the ECMWF thing yet. That doesn't fully update till 7 o'clock. But we have got the GFS, the GEM, and the UK Met. And I'll show you this morning's ECMWF run as well. We'll begin by having a look at developments in the stratosphere. So I've been talking about the chance of this stratospheric warming over the North Pole at 10 HPA, which is like the top level of the atmosphere, for a while. But GFS has been showing this for about a week now. It's been showing it in its extended range. But what we've seen in the last 24 hours is that the knowledge just started to lift off this extent of this a little bit. This is the latest stratospheric forecast for 10 HPA over the North Pole from the GFS model. This is the midday run. We're starting on the 21st of January. Now, we have got this warming occurring over Europe and heading into parts of Eurasia. You can see that by the green and yellow colours. We've got the blue colours indicating the cold temperatures in the stratosphere over North Pole at that point. Let's run you through. And we get to the 23rd, 24th, which for several days has been like the focus for this stratospheric warming event. So this is the 23rd of January, this is the 24th. And you see that it is now starting to struggle a little bit. So whilst we have got a warming going on here in the stratosphere at 10 HPA, stretched out from the far west of Europe through Eurasia, we're only lifting the colours to sort of yellows, possibly very pale oranges. We aren't seeing those deep red colours indicating very warm temperatures around this point across Siberia and Russia, as we were seeing in earlier GFS runs. Excuse me. Now, as we go further on into the closing days of January, this does intensify. So, very briefly, around the 28th, we are getting a little bit of red appearing then across Siberia, and it is starting to move in towards the stratosphere. So it is still seeing a major warming event occurring in the stratosphere at 10 HPA. Probably just about reaching the threshold of the southern stratospheric warming, but very quickly that's starting to cool down again a little bit, and that's how we end up on the 29th of January. So this is a major warming that's occurring in the stratosphere over the North Pole. But what's happening is that the GFS is just lifting off the extent of this warming, and it's continuing to delay it as well. Initially, around a week ago, this warming was set to occur sometime around the 23rd, 24th of January. Now we've pushed that back, and whilst we do get this sort of weakish warming occurring around the 23rd, 24th of January, whilst we do get that, it's not reaching the level that it was on those dates a few days ago, you see what I mean? And now we're pushing it back further to like the 27th, 28th of January. Nevertheless, there is a warming going to be taking place in the stratosphere over North Pole in the final week of January. I think we've just got to wait and see how much extent this warming has, how big it is, and whether it reaches the threshold of a southern stratospheric warming or not. It will be interesting to see. And also tomorrow, when I do the Sunday roundup, we'll have a look at the ECMWF. That's kind of picking up on what the GFS is showing there. So the ECM is picking up on this sort of Eurasian warming across Europe into parts of Russia, albeit quite a modest one. The ECM is picking up on that, but it isn't, it's too far away from the main time frame of the big warming that's due to occur in that final week of January. So, again, we'll know a little bit more in a few days' time, but I think what is happening is that the GFS is backing off this southern stratospheric warming a little bit. It's not going to the extent of warmth that it did a few days ago, and the core of the warming I think, is being pushed back by a few days as well. So let's just watch this space and see where that goes to. Now, coming back to the next couple of weeks, these are the GFS temperature and precipitation ensembles. This is from a 6 o'clock run. It hasn't updated yet. So the red line on this chart is the 30-year upper air temperature average. And by the way, looking at the ensemble for London today, so I'm just going to get the highlighter ready, and I haven't done that yet. So the red line here is the 30-year upper air temperature average. This is where we are right now, starting off around maybe a little bit above average, if anything, with the upper air temperatures. But this is a slide in the temperatures that's occurring early next week. So Monday to Tuesday, we drop down a cold front, bring quite a lot of wet weather, and with those precipitation spikes just there, and then we turn things quite a lot colder. Now, Wednesday to Thursday is interesting. We see the temperatures are lifting up here. Bear in mind, this is the ensemble for London. We're bringing an area of low pressure in. That will have a warm sector associated with it, but on the northern and eastern side of that low pressure will be clashing with the cold air. So there will be a risk of some snow as well as some heavy rain through the middle part of the week. Once that gets out of the way, we're back into solidly cold conditions, and they stay with us through the rest of the week into next weekend as well. And then we go through into the sort of the final full week of January, this period just here. Looks like we're beginning to lift the temperatures back up then, but there is a lot of scatter in there. So several ensemble members are quite mild, but several are actually quite cold. So it will be quite interesting, I think, to see what happens as we go through this final week of January. But certainly next week and next weekend, it is looking quite cold, other than with that area of low pressure that's coming in on Wednesday to Thursday, which does very briefly lift the temperatures up and produces either a rain or snow, or possibly both rain and snow event. Excuse me again. So this is how the GFS is looking for Tuesday. This is the very latest GFS run, the midday run, and we're in this cold and showery northwest wind. This is feeding in a lot of snow showers to northern and western parts of the country on Tuesday. Now, this is the disturbance along the jet stream at midday on Wednesday that we're looking to bring some quite interesting weather in on Wednesday night into Thursday. So that kink in the isobars just there. Up to this point, midday Wednesday, we're just in a cold, strong, windy, showery northwesterly wind. Now, overnight, Wednesday to Thursday, we move this low pressure through to the country. But this particular run of a GFS is not developing this quite as much as the earlier GFS runs were doing. And it's shifted it a little bit further south, which means that the cold clash of air is a bit further southwards as well. This probably takes some of Scotland out of the snow risk, probably brings it down into northern England, maybe parts of Wales and the Midlands. Further south and east of that, you're in the warm sector, so it would most likely be rain at that point. That low pressure moves off in towards the East Anglian coast by 6 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, taking rain or snow and possibly gale force winds from the far south out of the way with it. And then we're into that cold run of northwesterly winds, bringing in more snow showers northwest parts of the country, and that stays with us then through the rest of the week. And by Friday, we're turning wind actually into a northerly, so bring down some Arctic air then across the country as opposed to sort of polar maritime, and it will be staying cold up to the end of the week and even into next weekend. This is a week away, Saturday 20th of January. The wind remains firmly from a northerly direction, so it'll be cold. And there would be, I would assume, snow showers in northern areas and around coastal fringes as well. Now we go through towards the following week. It's taking us up towards day 10. So this is Monday 22nd of January. We're trying to move low pressure in from off the Atlantic, but it all looks very weak and very flimsy. There's a big block, a big wedge of cold air that's sitting over and to the east of the UK. So these low pressures are struggling to get in. This area of low pressure, for example, is beginning to head off in this direction down towards Biscay rather than pushing in like that as you would normally expect it to do so. And so the upshot is that this particular GFS run does never really let the mild air back in. This is how things are looking a little bit beyond day 10 when low pressure has gone to our south and we're pulling in these cold winds still from the east and raising pressure to our north and west as well. So head up towards the latter stages of this run, and it does become increasingly wintry actually. So this is gone to sunny 28th of January. We're putting in these cold easterly winds. Will be snow showers coming in with those, and there's no milder interlude. It's just cold from sort of Monday right way through to the end of January. That looks a little bit dubious based on the earlier ensemble, which looked like this. Does look a little bit dubious. In fact, I think that's just updated to the latest GFS ensemble now. So it looks a little bit dubious. Most of the runs do turn things milder, bring some milder weather back in the extended range. But you see, probably that solution is not on its own by any means. There are several members that do keep it cold pretty much from there, and then going through to this period just here. So it's inconclusive what's going to happen for the final week of January, but it's not impossible that we might extend this cold weather, this cold snap or cold period, into a genuine cold spell. Just want to show you the precipitation type forecast from the Weather Outlook. So we've got snow showers in the north and west on Tuesday. We're starting on Tuesday, by the way. Snow showers in the northwest on Tuesday. This looks like a lot of snow going across the country. Do keep in mind this is snow showers, not sort of a huge mass of snow such as the model is seeing. So this is snow showers, and particularly so in the north and west, there would be probably some quite disruptive weather, or will be, on Tuesday. We go through to Wednesday. This is the area of low pressure, a disturbance coming in from off the Atlantic on Wednesday night into Thursday. That's bringing wet weather in towards the southwest. On the northern and eastern edge of that low pressure, which is Northern Ireland, but perhaps southwest Scotland and northwest England, that is producing snow. Through the early hours of Thursday, it's wet down in the south, snow up in the north. Doesn't look like a very significant snow event at the moment, but expect this to chop and change quite a bit over coming days. In fact, we will have a look at Snow Watch tomorrow evening. And then we go through to Thursday itself, when we return back to those snow showers piling in from the north and the west, and may continue then into Friday, when some sort of disturbance coming down there, banding the snow showers up across England and Wales on Friday. So it is a wintry week coming up, how the detail works out. This is the UK Met Office. Again, this is latest run, midday run, Saturday of the UK Met. There's that disturbance just there along the jet stream for Wednesday. We're in this cold and showery northwesterly flow. We go in 24-hourly steps with this one. So we've gone from midday Wednesday to midday Thursday, when the low pressure then is around here. Now, obviously, that has pushed across some parts of the country, but the exact track as to who gets rain, who gets snow, where the strongest winds are, that can't really be determined by that chart. But obviously, some parts of the country would have had snow, some parts of the country would have had rain, and some parts would have had strong winds as well. And then by Friday, we're turning winds into the north, so that Arctic northerly is extending down across the country, very much in line with what the GFS is showing. GM, the Canadian model, so there's that disturbance along the jet stream on Wednesday. Otherwise, we're in that cold northwesterly flow. The GM then runs that on quite a southerly track, actually, so it's not developing it into an area of low pressure, but it is pushing a disturbance through across the south and southwest. That'll probably bring the risk of snow to parts of Wales and the Midlands, I would have thought, maybe in some southern counties overnight Wednesday into Thursday. That gets out of the way, we return to those northwesterly winds. Now, unlike what the other models are showing, by Friday we're not turning winds into the Arctic. Haven't got those Arctic northerlies with the GM. Actually, we're starting to push in a milder west-southwesterly flow, and that takes us into next weekend. This was very different to what the other models are showing, but of course it's an option, so it can't be discounted. Generally reasonably mild for next weekend with the GEM, the 20th and 21st of January. Before we go up to day 10, and we're building a little bit of a ridge across the country, but we never really get the wind into Arctic northerly like we see with the UK Met and also with the GFS by the end of the coming week. Finally, the ECMWF. Now, this is the midnight run. This hasn't updated, actually, so I'm just going to change you over. This hasn't updated yet for the midday ECMWF. It finally finishes updating around 7 o'clock in the evening UK time. So it's always a little bit too late to do a video with the midday ECMWF, unfortunately. But this is what it's showing at midnight. And for Wednesday, we've got that cold northwesterly flow coming in, and then we go through to Thursday, midnight Wednesday to Thursday, and there's that disturbance as an actual area of low pressure heading in towards Ireland. That pushing across, probably going in that sort of direction, so it brings big warm sector in across much of England and Wales, where there would be heavy rain, strong winds, and the snow risk with that would be for southern Scotland, probably Northern Ireland, and parts of northern England as well. Then we get through to Friday, and with push out low pressure away, that's actually where the low pressure is now. It's over there, sort of across northern parts of Germany, so that's moved a lot in 24 hours. And we're back to that strong run of northwesterly wind, cold winds as well. The extended part, so this is up to a week ahead, this is midnight on Saturday, wind turning to the north, so in agreement with the other models, except for the GEM, which doesn't have this northerly, but all models other than the GEM are showing this northerly Arctic blast coming up at the end of the coming week and into the weekend of the 20th, 21st of January. That's a very cold northerly wind. There will be some snow potential in with that as well. This is how things look as we go into the final stages of the midnight run of the ECMWF, and we keep it cold up to day 10. This is Tuesday the 23rd of January. We're still in a cold northerly. Low pressure is out in the Atlantic. It's trying to bring milder air in. Whether it will break through there or whether, as the later on of GFS is doing, it will actually slide the milder temperatures, low pressures down to there. I think that's very inconclusive on that chart. It's a 50-50 chart. It could go either way, but certainly up to day 10, Tuesday 23rd of January, the ECMWF is really quite cold and wintry. The snow potential of that midnight run of the ECMWF looks like this. So this is Tuesday, where we've got snow showers into the north and west. This is from the website weather.us, by the way. Through to Wednesday, we see that the snow potential is ready for the north. So it's for Scotland, Northern Ireland, Northern England, down into Wales, as you'd expect, as that wind is coming in from the northwest. We get through to Thursday, and we see that, again, the snow potential has grown. These charts do go a little bit over the top with the snow depth, so don't take the depth too seriously. It's just an indication of where it's likely to be snowing, and we can see, but it's anywhere from like the North Midlands or Central Midlands northwards. So it's for Wales, it's for much of Northern England, it's for much of Northern Ireland, and for much of Scotland. That's where you're likely to have some sort of snow event overnight, Wednesday to Thursday, if the track of that low pressure is right. Remember, the midday runs, and this is based on the midnight run of the ECMWF, the midday runs of the ECMWF, the models midday runs, have trended the track of that low pressure a bit further southwards into the extended part of the ECMWF. So the snow remains mostly in the north. Let's go through to next weekend, and we see a little bit of snow starting to appear down across more southern areas, but again, generally, the snow risk remains up in the north with that run of the ECMWF. And whether it would turn mild or stay cold beyond day 10 with the ECMWF midnight run, it's very much a 50-50 situation. It could go either way. So we're going to concentrate on the more immediate time frame. We're going to get a push of cold northwesterly winds in the early part of the week. They'll bring snow showers into northwestern parts of the country. Then Wednesday to Thursday, all eyes will be on that secondary disturbance developing along the jet stream. The exact track of that low pressure going to be very, very critical as to who gets rain, who gets snow, where the strongest winds are. Expect to see an update with Snow Watch tomorrow evening. Then beyond that, although the GEM doesn't return the winds back to the north and bring down that Arctic northerly for the end of the coming week and into next weekend, I suspect there is reasonably good agreement that we do get the winds back into the north. So I reckon the cold weather continues beyond the middle of the coming week, and we probably keep it cold up to around day 8 or 9 anyway. And then whether we will break things down then, we'll have to wait and see. Right, so tomorrow we're going to begin by having a little bit of a summer update, can you believe? So there'll be something about the summer coming up tomorrow morning. We'll have the Galsworthy Sunday Roundup around lunchtime. Of course, we'll be discussing all of this that is featured in today's video. And then in the evening tomorrow, expect to see Snow Watch. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.